All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video kind of requires a bit of a little bit of a story time. So grab a snack, grab your journal, grab a beverage of choice, and let's get into it. So this is inspired by a poster that I made. Is it a week ago? Yes, a week ago. It feels like ages ago. So I have been itching partially to get back into drawing and painting, but I really wanted something a little bit portable and not as daunting as such a big piece as what I did in the story. So, needless to say, flashback to a week ago, Tuesday. This is the last week of the regular season. Of course, it's related to hockey. A lot of my stuff has been related to hockey recently. Yeah, huge Buffalo Sabres fan, as you can see by my Traveler's Notebook patch that I have on there. But basically, I had tickets to the last 5 Sabres games. They all happened to be at home, and I was fortunate enough that the two games I had in my quarter season pack, 2 games I got for upgrading to a half season for next season. So I got new seats. So to kind of try out my seats, I was able to get 2 tickets there. And the last one was a Tuesday game against Carolina. And I got seats for very cheap because it's a Tuesday game. So, and it wasn't a huge, I mean, Carolina is a big opponent, but it's not Toronto, which is the game that I'm talking about, because the next Tuesday, so the last week of the final season, the Sabres played on Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday, they played against the Maple Leafs, which, if you don't know, that game becomes kind of like another Maple Leafs home game, because a lot of their fans will come and take those seats, and because it's much more affordable for them to come to Buffalo to see a game than to see it in Toronto. And so you're usually in a sea of Maple Leafs fans in your home arena, which is insane, but that's just the nature of it. And so I knew it was going to be a big game, because the Maple Leafs needed 3 things. They needed a win to clinch the division. Matthews needed a goal to get to 400 career goals, and Mitch Marner needed either a goal or an assist. He just needed 1 point, and then it would be his first time in his career ever getting to 100 points in the regular season. So all 3 of those things happened, and the big thing was the fact that the game for the first 2 periods was pretty solid. There was pretty solid goaltending. Like, goaltending was good, which is what I like. I mean, I like it. I don't want the Sabres to get shut out. It's always hard. I want to see them at least get a goal. Like, I want to hear that goal horn. I want to hear their goal song. But I'm okay with there being less goals if there's really good goaltending. And that's what was going on. And it was my favorite goalie, because of course I have a favorite goalie, Luukkonen's gonna be his final game of the season, it looked like, and our coach wanted him to put him in to have a good end to the season, and it was good. And then the team in front of him fell apart, and it ended up being 4-1, and everything. Leafs clinched the division. Marner got his point. Matthews scored his goal. It was an empty net goal, but he scored that goal, hit that milestone, and I could tell Luukkonen was just super frustrated because it wasn't his fault. I swear. I remember seeing the 3 stars, and the first star was their goalie, and then the third star was our goalie. So it was a goalie game, which was nice, but I wish it wouldn't have ended like that. It just, yeah. So I was kind of sad, and it wasn't really the best week at work. And so the next day, Wednesday, I just was like, you know what? I want to go on my lunch. And when I go and pick up my food, I want to stop at Michael's. And I ended up going, and I picked up some Uniposca paint markers. And I really wanted a thicker fine liner because I knew the poster that I was going to make was big. And yeah, that's what I did. I came home from work. I literally went and got myself ready. I put my PJs on. I put my I have one of those like blanket, it's like a blanket bathrobe thing with a hood. I don't know how to explain, but it has the arms and everything. And I sat down and I worked for 3.5 hours, and I made a poster, and I brought it to the game the next day. We put the flyers, and I made it on the Sabres social media. They posted a bunch of the full posters. But I'll kind of show you. I don't think there's enough room, but you can kind of see. This is part of the poster that I created. But I just was really inspired. Like, I just really feel like I have this desire to get back into sketching and painting, and it's something I've never really, I kind of would bring the watercolors out and everything more when I was on vacation. Like, there are some travel stuff. Let me see if I can find it. So yeah, I really got into like this on 2 trips that I took in 2022, but I never really picked it back up. I kind of would on and off, and I tried to last year on my trips, and it just didn't work. So yeah, this was one trip. And then this was the other trip. And I wish I would have picked it up more because I really enjoyed it. So the problem was this paper. I knew with the stuff that I was tipping in that, and I tried to continue this after the trip, and it's just, I knew with how bulky and like what I was trying to bulk it up with, that it just never. I have another In-N-Out sticker. Oh my gosh, I love In-N-Out burger. I loved it so much when I went there, but I knew with how bulky this was gonna get, this was never, like, you can tell it just, whereas the Tomo River paper and stuff, really you can bulk it up and it can get fluffy. Whereas this, I was like, this is not going to work. So I ended up switching. But yeah, I knew that I really, really wanted a setup. But I also was thinking, oh, maybe I'll go into a regular size. But I just, at this point, don't want the pressure of it. So that's where we kind of go into today's video. So we're gonna set it up. So first things first, let's grab the cover. So this is my main passport cover. You might have seen some other ones. I know at one point I had an olive, I've had a camel, I've had the blue one. I don't think I've ever had a brown in passport. I think I've only had the brown in the regular size, but this is the one that I've had the Starbucks Reserve in this, and I sold it before I ever used it, and I kind of regret it, but that's okay. I have kind of come to the realization that I really want just one traveler's notebook, like one regular size, one passport, and I want to see them age. Like, I just want to see how they change over time, and I want them to be meaningful. And also, yeah, that I just want them to be meaningful purchases. Like, this one was a meaningful purchase for me. I got this at Good Postage in Charlotte. I was there for my cousin's wedding, and I will always remember that, and it means a lot to me to know that the happiness and joy I had when I first of all like discovered that there was a stationery store, and the fact that I got to pick one up while I was there. I definitely want to go back to Good Postage, and I also would like to go to more Travelers Company stores. As you know, Buffalo Sabres fan, I'm in Buffalo. I can easily get to Toronto. I know there's like Paper Plus Cloth and Wonder Pens, and I would love to get up to Wonder Pens. I'm actually thinking for this fall, instead of purchasing my Hobonichi Travelers Company, those goods in like online from stores, I'm thinking of actually making the trek up. I kind of want to have the experience of going up there myself and picking it up from a shop rather than having a box shipped to my door. And honestly, I don't need another I don't need another freebie pen. I don't really need that. And just to be able to go into the store and see it, it would be really cool if it's around the time when the Coffee Monster Co. Esterbrook pens came out, and to go and like pick one up in store just sounds so appealing than trying to, you know, purchase one online as quick as I can. So this cover has a lot of like special meanings to me. I'm actually kind of in the process right now of selling my other ones, like my olive. I have another camel that I purchased because I thought I regretted getting rid of my original camel, and then I purchased another one, and I've just decided this is it. This has so much meaning. This is the one I want to hold on to. So yeah, I will be destashing some of these covers. I'll link my Mercari shop if you're interested in like taking a look too. I'm not sure when I'm gonna get around to posting it because it's a busy time right now, but if you're interested, just shoot me a message and I can, you know, we can chat. But yeah, so this is the cover I'm going to be using. And then, for the inserts, so I'm going with two for now because I want one that's more sketch focused and watercolor. So this is from Good Impressions. So if you've seen any of my previous videos, you will know that I was supposed to move into a passport bujo. I had gotten the inserts and everything at the start of, or in like September when Sterling Ink like released everything. I got my inserts from Good Impressions like as soon as, you know, I knew that my Sterling Ink was gonna ship, and then I dropped it like within pretty much, I think in December, I used the passport insert, and then I was like, you know what? I really, really want to move into a regular size, like regular TN size, and that's where, you know, we've gotten to the common planner. And so I figure it's Tomoe River paper. The grids might be helpful for sketching, you know, and maybe down the road, you know, I switched to blank paper or something like that. But honestly, I have a bunch of these inserts because I also bought some from Lindsay Scribbles, was destashing some of hers. So my goal is to kind of use this up, use it for now, see how it goes, and then just like what this mentality I'm trying to with notebooks and journals and everything is that I use what I have, and when I get low or I run out, then purchasing based on what I need, not hoarding a bunch. So yeah, this is from Good Impressions. This one is the Travelers company, and it's the watercolor paper. So I think it's cool that it's perforated, so if I decide I want to like put this in my Hobonichi or give it to someone or something else, I can. So we'll see. This might be a, you know, makeup painting, tear it out. This might be a collection. We'll figure it out as we go. So yeah, and then we'll have these two around. These are from when I was using it as a bujo. I just like having these. I figured they'll hold other things. So this is the to and fro zipper case. It's nice. So I can fit stuff. I can fit this in there, which would be nice. So let's get this together. Oh, and then this is the craft folder with, this is a pen loop I got off of Amazon, and it fits nicely. And then I figure if there's like bits of ephemera or things that I want to throw in here, I honestly think I'd be able to throw, yeah, if I tear them out, I could put them in here, which is nice too. So we're gonna just put this together. All right, so it is all set up now. So we've got the first insert is wrapped around the zipper case. This is the Good Impressions one. Then we have the craft folder around the watercolor paper. So yeah, next. So I've had this for a while and I need some advice if anyone can help. So I don't have any paint in there. I kind of wish I would have gotten the one with the paints in there now that I think about it, but I thought, you know what, I kind of want to like see like what, like my own paints and find something. So if anyone has any recommendations, please let me know. Please help me out because I really want to use this. I just love how portable it is and it fits so nicely in here. So that's where I'm gonna put that, and then it's so nice. Like I just want, yeah, I want to be able to use it. Yeah, and then we have this is the brush I recently got it. A coworker recommended it to me, so it just opens up like that. I got it off of Jet Pens. It's number 4. I just figure it's a nice standard brush, especially with the small details and everything that I'll probably be doing. It's a nice brush. So I think I'm going to put this here for now, actually. So, by the way, this all might change, this setup, because the Coffee Monsters Co. dropped the Q2 subscription. Like, I'm getting the full bundle, so I think it's the pen pals. I don't remember the big tier, the one where you get the 2 tiers, but then you get the extra item. So the extra item this month is like this really cool fold out thing, and I was thinking that might actually be a nice thing to use, to kind of, I could bulk this down a little bit by like taking out some of the, like, honestly, I could probably take out these inserts maybe, and like the zippers and stuff, and just have the 2 inserts in there, and then, but I don't know, we'll see when it arrives. So yeah, and then of course you can't go anywhere without the brass clip to hold down the pages. It's gonna be, yeah, I'm excited to use that. So I'm just gonna clip the 2 inserts together like that, and then I just will have a pencil. So yeah, and then last but not least, we have this is the to and fro, this is the cover. So this just zips up and it fits nicely, and then I'll just put the pencil in there, and then we're just gonna zip it, and then we have this really nice little pack. So yeah, if you have any recommendations for watercolor paint for the little tin, please drop it below in the comments, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!